Hello, my fellow collective. Welcome, welcome. If you're interested in all things spiritual, testimonial, biblical, then this is your type of video. Please stay tuned and keep on watching. Thanks. Hello, once again. It's a new month, new year. Welcome, welcome. Listen, I don't know what to say for this pray with me, to be quite honest. You know, Ain't got nothing else to say. Be grateful, be thankful, and glorify God. So there's that. Um, yeah. I know, but you guys, for something I'm very grateful for is like health. Health is the new wealth, right? When you feel good, um, look good, have you feeling good, everything just feels like such a blessing. And you can just thank God for that. That we're still being able to do a lot of things that a lot of people don't have the strength to do anymore. And I feel like it's such a blessing. And as corny as it might sound, as simple as having a roof over your head. Actually, no, it's not corny because there are people here that don't have houses, have a place to stay, have food to eat, have a community, people. Um, all of the little things are the ones that we should be grateful for. I feel I know I am. So um I'm very grateful for food is something in my life that is such a blessing. um some foods are good for you and some foods are questionable, right? I know what it is. My battle with IBS is something, okay. I don't know about you guys, but my palates have changed so much when I changed my diet and the foods that benefits my body, like on a mental, spiritual, physical level. Um, it's such a blessing to afford that because again, not everybody can. Like if you have food, you kind of do what you have in terms of your means. But when God is like, you know what? There is a better option. He will make it happen. Okay. So, this is not one of those serious pray with me's. It's just be grateful for the little things. So, I'm going to just add a little scriptures that, you know, correlates to that. There is Corinthians, I'm not quite sure, 10:31. So, whatever you eat or drink, whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. Okay. And then we have, let's see, I'm literally just Googling food and scriptures. Okay. I'm just going to pick the ones I feel like is a yes for me. For us, he took the seven loaves and the fish and had given thanks, he broke them and gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the crowds. So, like, even if I have the little, not much, I feel like God will make it plenty. So, I'm trying to correlate that to my own life. Um, like I said, my diet has changed drastically, like for the benefit of my IBS. Okay, by my well-being, overall well-being, and I don't really eat as much as I used to, and I cut off certain foods. So I just That's not it. Even though I used to love them, over time you can train your palate, and I feel like that's what's happened to me. I just feel so much better, more alive, more energetic. But there are sometimes I slip up, and then my stomach is like, "You shouldn't have had that pizza." Let's be for real, right? Because if I think back at it, it was good, but it's not as good as the food that's on my register that makes me even feel much better after and during, you know? So I feel like, even if it's just once a day or twice a day where you eat your food, I feel like God can stretch that out. Again, going back to the IBS, oatmeal, I read could last you for really long hours. Okay. I feel like that's symbolic for the five loaf of bread and the fish, whereas like Jesus didn't have barely, barely. It was barely, but then he stretched it out to 5,000 people. From 5 to 5,000. I feel like that's symbolic for how long it can last. I don't think I'm making any sense, but I feel like food that are long lasting and filling benefits us more than food where you have to eat every 2 hours. Like junk food, like pizza, okay? Um, and it's so interesting. Foods that are so heavy, um, especially junk food, immediately makes us hungry. Because I did notice that in my past when I used to eat like that on a regular basis when I didn't know what the heck was going on with my IBS or my body, right? I'm thinking, how can one be hungry if we eat McDonald's, which is like, in terms of the weight of it all, should really sustain you, right? Uh, on some BMI stuff, but it doesn't, right? But when I go and eat like oatmeal or very solid protein based, like for me specifically, home cooked food that benefits the IBS, okay, it lasts much longer. Like it could last an entire day. So I guess we should choose the fish and the loaf of bread instead of the fried fish and the fried dough. You know, I mean, there are gluten free option. Listen, collective, like I said, this will probably be like okay, but this is like a little. I share what I'm been going through. Is it deep? Is it intricate? No. Just the blessings for the little things. Because I'm pretty sure we all live everyday lives and it's not always as hectic. These are one of those moments, okay? But jokes aside, IBS is a no joke. Um, my heart goes out to all of us. But it's all about mentality and changing our diet. I'm reading this, I think the scripture is fitting, Matthew 4 4 or Psalm 1 4. This one. God answered, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but every word that comes from the mouth of God." Okay? That's a very strengthening scripture. I remember in the past when things were struggling, um, I always relied on that scripture, and funny enough, it actually fed me. I know it sounds weird, but like sometimes you don't have within your means, right? And you'd be like asking God, you'd be waiting, you'd be praying. And during that waiting season, it created endurance. At least it did for me. So, those are trying times, fun times, but it was all a part of, where I should go. Because again, sometimes we need to be a little bit in lack to appreciate the fullness, right, of the blessings. I know. I'm probably not making any sense. Thank you guys for watching. If it's helpful, thank you for watching, okay?